And we are back with yet another episode in our filming location series. We're progressing nicely, albeit a little slower than I'd hoped through the first season. But today we're going to cover the 10th episode of Knight Rider, The Final Verdict. Knight Rider actually returned to San Pedro, California to film most of this episode. Not all, but most. As you may recall, we were just in San Pedro a few episodes prior to this for Trust Doesn't Rust, and now we're back again. We've managed to figure out, I'd say like 95% of the filming locations for this episode, but there is one location in this episode, one location that I've wanted to find forever, and I have had no luck. So stick with us. We're going to go through the ones I did find, and the couple that I didn't, including a very big one in this episode, and I'm hoping you guys can find it for me. Alrighty, we're going to start with the title screen. Now, these first few scenes were actually stock footage. They weren't filmed for this episode, but we're going to include them anyways here. We see these scenes in a couple other episodes throughout the series. So what we see here, obviously we've got a body of water. We've got KITT driving the background with a hill and a lot of pine trees. This is Jackson Lake at Big Pines Recreation Area of the Angeles National Forest in Palermo, California. So if we look at an aerial view here, here is the lake right here. So let's kind of drop in here and we'll show you. So here's the lake right here. And here is that dirt wall with the trees on top that you see right here. Now obviously when they were filming, they had the camera over here somewhere on this hilltop so they could film across the water. But I don't believe there's going to be an opportunity. No, see, there's no place to drop us in anywhere else. But that's bad. Let's go back to where we were here. But yeah, this is the road he was on. So this is County Highway N4, at least according to Google Maps, Jackson Lake right there. All right, so then we move ahead a little bit and we get this aerial view here. Still the same stretch of road, and this aerial view helped us to really confirm that this was in fact Jackson Lake, because if you look right here, you can see how Jackson Lake kind of comes to a point, or not a point, but it gets real narrow right here and then gets wider, and that's exactly what we see here. And if you notice, KITT's passing, and then you get this little, almost looks like an access road or something that kind of curves off. And if you look right here, here is that curved access road. So if we drop in right here, so there's the edge of the lake right there. Right there, and then here's that curved road. So there you go. Filming location 1 for The Final Verdict. All right, so we're going to skip over the scenes that take place inside the semi. That was all done on Stage 1 at Universal, which we've covered before. Stage 1 at Universal is used in every single episode of the show. I don't feel a need to bring it up again here. So then we have Michael leaving en route to Albuquerque, and we see yet another piece of stock footage of KITT driving on this highway. We've got a hill here. The road kind of curves to the right, then to the left. And we've got another hill here, mountains in the background, and some kind of a dirt access road here. And then maybe another access road there. So this location is right here on California 138 in Phelan, California, Phelan. But here's that, the hill. So you can see how it curves down here to the left, mountains in the background, and here's even that access road right here. Let's look at it from aerial view and see. Yeah, so if we go back here, oh, I see. So this right here must be Pipeline Road. Yeah, this is Pipeline Road, which you probably can't see too well from here, but that road's right down there. But the this really gives it away. This path going up the hill there, and there it is right there. All right. Now, let's move on to our next. So this is the first unidentified location. And again, this is stock footage, but in the episode, this is supposed to be Albuquerque, New Mexico. Is it Albuquerque? I don't know. Probably not. It almost looks like it would be Las Vegas because it's like out in the middle of a desert, it looks like, but I don't think that's Las Vegas. So you guys tell me, what city are we looking at right here? Is this Albuquerque? Maybe. Figure it out. Let me know. All right. So then we have this establishing shot of the women's prison that Cheryl Burns is located in. Once again, this is stock footage. And this, in reality, is the Chino State Prison. And how did I figure that out? The wonderful Google Lens. So we'll drag this stock image over here. It does its magic, and we find a matching prison tower. Where was it? Matching prison tower right here. All right, so if we go back to our screenshot, you can see we've got this pedestal. It's looks like it's octagon shaped. We've got these two landings out here. So this matches perfectly. So this is Chino State Prison in Chino, California. All right, and I don't have a screenshot, but obviously there's some interior scenes of a prison where we see Michael meeting Cheryl Burns. Don't know exactly where that was filmed. It looks like it was actually filmed in a prison. It might be the inside of the Lincoln Heights jail, which we see the outside of in Brother's Keeper and Goliath Returns. Oh, and I guess we see the inside of it in Brother's Keeper also. So, I don't know. Have any of you guys been in prison in Southern California? Can you let me know what prison that is? Thanks. All right, moving ahead. From that scene, we see this transition, and KITT is pulling into the bent arm. Okay? Now, before we get into the bent arm, we can see in the background here, there's some sign here. We can't read it. It's because of the blur and the transition, but there's a gas station back here. Looks like a building right there, and we see KITT turning in. There's a Sundries Junior Market. Oh, you know what? That says Kahunga Boulevard, I think. So KITT turns in, and we're at the bent arm. And we can see there's a parking lot here, and then the building's like L-shaped, right? All right, so if we go back over here, I think here's the gas station. Here's that building we see in the background. And I think this was the bent arm. It's obviously been redeveloped, but KITT pulls in here and parks right about here and then goes into the bent arm, which was right about here. Obviously not there any longer. Alrighty, the next scene, KITT racing through the desert. Again, stock footage, but we do know where this is. This is actually on Oasis Road in Piñon Hills, California. So if you take note of the mountains in the background, we got a peak and then it dips down, 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 goes up a little bit. So if we look at it now, This is Oasis Road. Looks like it's been paved in the last 40 years, but here's your peak, down, 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 up. So it's this stretch of road. Obviously, this is from a helicopter. We don't have that luxury, so we're looking at it here, but this is the location. So this is about 12121 Oasis Road, roughly. All right, next location. All right, and then we get this establishing shot, and for once, the establishing shot is the actual filming location. This is San Pedro in Los Angeles in California. So if you look at it aerial now, it's this area right here. So you can see we've got this one island here, or port here, the main channel. We've got this little canal, whatever you want to call it. And that's what you're looking at here. So this is that main channel. There's that little inlet. And then we've got another one over here. So this is definitely San Pedro, Port of Los Angeles. All right. All right, now we go to Marty's apartment, the Harbor View House, as you can see here. So this is the main entrance, and Michael pulls up. And this one was easy. It actually has part of the address here, the 921. So this is on 921 South Beacon Street. And what's interesting is it's actually called the Harbor View House. Here it is right here. So if we drop in and turn around, this is the building. Now, as you can see, it is covered in scaffolding. It looks like they're doing a major renovation on it. But this right here is the main entrance. It says permanently closed, but it looks like they're not tearing it down. It looks like they're rebuilding it or doing something with it. So, I mean, that's good, but unfortunately, I don't think we can show you a better picture of it other than this. Actually, I lied. I found this article on thedailybreeze.com from 2019, and you can see the front of the building here. So these are the steps that Michael walks up. And if you look closely, you can even see this pattern above the door and the windows and how it matches, the pattern here and the same grates over the windows. So looks like, according to this, they're renovating what used to be the Harbor View House into 100 apartments, 2 restaurants, a gym, and a bowling alley speakeasy that will feature live entertainment. So it sounds like this building is getting another lease on life after Marty Klein moved out. All right, and then we get this establishing shot of the police headquarters where Lieutenant Dickerson's office is. So, stock footage, once again, you can tell it's stock footage probably from the 70s, based on the cars, I would think. But in reality, this stock footage, this is the Houston Police Headquarters in Houston, Texas. And it's still around today, this building. Look at this. So if we drop it right here, and let's come around this corner so you can get a better view here. One more. There we go. Look at that. Definitely the same building. In fact, look at the sculpture in the wall there. And there it is right there. So this was another one I found through Google Lens. That's the only reason I was able to find it so easily. Houston Police Headquarters in Houston, Texas. So I guess that means Dickerson's jurisdiction must be giant. All right, so then we get this shot. This is another establishing shot, not filmed for the episode, stock footage, and it's zoomed in pretty close, so we don't really see any detail. Don't know exactly where this is. This might be in San Pedro as well. For those of you who watched our Trust Doesn't Rust commentary, you know we were looking for the hideout from Tony and Rev's hideout. And the building looked similar to this. So I'm wondering if this is another warehouse building somewhere in San Pedro. So I'm going to leave this one to you guys to try and find. Let me know where this is. And here we go. This is the number 1 location that I've wanted to find in the final. Actually, it's the number 2 location. The number 1 location I did find in researching for filming this episode, but we'll get to that. But this is Farland Enterprises, where Al Farland works. I have not had luck finding this building. Chances are it's either in San Pedro or near in the Los Angeles area, somewhere there. And we can see we've got these warehouse doors back here, they're numbered. This one says 73, and later on there's some other ones, but you see him walking out, and we see this building in the background. He walks to his car there. Yeah, and then there's this all glass building with a walkway beside it. And then we see Michael pulling out here as it's transitioning. This in the corner is at the next location, which we're going to show you. So there's going to be some more screenshots. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump to those screenshots now. That way they're all together, even though this is later in the episode. So we can see here's another door that says 69 on top. So the one Marty came out of earlier in the episode was 73. This one says 69. Definitely the same location. Michael walks around the corner. Take note of the hills in the background. This might be a clue. I'm not sure anywhere in San Pedro shows or has hills in the background like this. So this might be, further north. I'm not sure. What else do we see? More of the warehouse type building. Yeah, so look, 68, 69, 70. So this must be a giant building with lots of doors. If these are 68, 69, this is probably 67. Interesting. I never noticed that one of the books that Marty's carrying says 6 months ledgers, May of 80 through October of 80. That was 2 years ago from when they filmed this. Yeah, so there's more of... And see, this is the same building right here, I think. Hold on a second. Is that the same building we saw? Yes, it is. So whenever I showed you this scene earlier, there was that glass wall, the building with all the glass on it and the ramp. And then this is in the background. So that was right there. So we can see here, that's the same building. So that tells me that that part of the building that's glass is way up here. And then the rest of this took place back here at the warehouses. And see, then we pull out a little bit and we get this look. And you can see more of this building here, this factory. So this might be some kind of a clue. And then KITT breaks out and we see this part of the building here. All right. With some closer hills than the ones we saw and facing the other direction, and we've got maybe a water tank here or something like that. So that's about all we see of this location in this episode. So with those clues, see which one of you guys can find Farland Enterprises for me. I'd love to know where it's at, or where it was at if it's still there. All right, so next we're moving on. So Michael follows Marty to the gym, and the gym is actually the Port O'Call in San Pedro. So this is the Port O'Call parking lot. So this was at 1150 South Harbor Boulevard in San Pedro. And here, let's show you. So he parks there. There's all these, it looks like an old fishing town or something, where he walks through here and he goes into this building, which was the gym. Unfortunately, Port O'Call has all been torn down. It was right in this area, as you can see. Actually, is this it in the background? I was reading some articles where it said it was torn down in 2018. But it almost looks like, let me back up here. Boy, it almost looks like the buildings could still be there. Doesn't it? I'll see, now I'm curious. So let's go, let's get out of here. Let's go back to, where are we at here? Let's look at the aerial view. No, it is all gone. You can see here all the construction work in this area. It was torn down in 2018, so the articles I read were correct. But the parking lot, I think this would have been the parking lot that Michael and KITT parked in. somewhere in this area, and then that that ports of call, all those buildings would have been back here, and those are all unfortunately torn down. All right, so now we have Michael pretending to work for the Standard Power Company, you know, doing some of his magic to make the power go haywire at Farland Industries. So we don't get too many views. We get this and this. Now, just based on what this looks like, I'm thinking that this was filmed at the same place where Farland Enterprises is located. The buildings look the same. Just the atmosphere feels like that's where it was filmed. So if you find Farland Enterprises, look for a place that could look like this, because this might have just been filmed at Farland Industries or Enterprises, whatever. All right, and one possible clue, I'm pretty sure that the interiors were actually filmed at the same Farland Enterprises, the same building, just the inside. And if you notice, all of the boxes in here are for like stereo equipment. If you Google some of these, you got speakers. There's some other, a cord. This is all like stereo equipment. So, you know, maybe if we can find some kind of electronics distribution center back in the 80s in San Pedro or in the surrounding Los Angeles area, maybe that'll give us some clue. I don't know. And I know we already covered Harborview House, but we see this scene later on, and we see Marty laying on this bench by a palm tree. And if you want to recreate that palm tree is still there today. There's Harborview House. There's the front entrance over there, and the bench was right here. So knock yourself out. All right, so then we get to the scene where KITT is pulling into like a back alley behind Marty's apartment. He pulls in. We see this block wall with brick on top, couple palm trees, and he pulls up to this building right here. So the question is this Harborview House also, or was this filmed somewhere else? So if we just take a quick virtual drive around Harbor House, is there any... See, it's so hard to tell because it's under construction. But look at that window. It's not really arched. See, I'm starting to think this part might have been filmed elsewhere, not at Harborview House. Because see, there's this other building in the way here. And, oh, wait a minute. Look at this. Hang on 1 second. Look at that. Look at that concrete wall with the red brick on top. So if we back up here, concrete wall with red brick on top. I wonder if this is a remnant. That's too much of a coincidence. Gosh, I wonder if it was filmed here. It's just so much has been changed. It's so hard to tell with everything covered. But that might have been filmed here as well. See if any of you guys can confirm this. Yeah, because see, so KITT stops here. And see, we do see an arch window like Harborview House. And then when he ejects out, you can tell this is that same window KITT parked by. So this is the same location. There's that arched window and then a bunch of square windows. So... And see, this has arches at the bottom, doesn't it? Yeah, see? Arches and a bunch of square windows. I bet you this is the same location. Arch 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this has to be Harborview House. And there's some scaffolding, although that might all have been torn out. Okay. I'm pretty sure this was the same location. Maybe you guys can confirm for me. All right, but then we have this scene where KITT's parked and the security guard comes up to him. And we see this stucco wall. And from this angle, you can see it's not that tall. So I'm thinking this might have been filmed completely in a different location, because this just doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, KITT drives off, and then you see that. I don't know if there's anywhere near this harbor house that looks like that. Let's just drive around it again real quick. Do we see anything that remotely resembles... What does it look like again? So we've got those vertical... Yeah, it's so hard to tell. It might have been filmed here, might have not. Maybe you guys can confirm. All right, so now we're back to Farland Enterprises. So we'll skip over this since we already talked about this location as much as we know. All right, so now we begin the chase, which takes place during pretty much the rest of this episode until the final act, or the final scenes. So first we have this scene where Michael is helping Marty zip up his pants or put a seatbelt on or something like that. And this one's pretty easy. We got the Vincent Thomas Bridge in the background. This is San Pedro. This was easy to find. This is Earl Street, right around 601 Earl Street. This is about the only street that gets that same angle of the bridge, so we know that that's where that was located at. And then we have this railroad crossing. So if you look, you see this warehouse building in the background. It's blue with all these little windows down below. Railroad crossing. Did I already say railroad crossing? So this is Earl Street and Terminal Way. So all of these, so this is that first location. If we come down here to Earl Street and Terminal Way, there's a truck in our way currently, but if we go over here, here's the railroad crossing, and here is that warehouse. So intersection of Earl Street and Terminal Way is this location. And there you can see in the background there's the same warehouse building with those windows. And it's really interesting when you watch this episode because KITT drives, like he's driving down this way, and then you see him come in this way, and then the scene cuts and KITT's driving this way. So clearly there's no continuity with any of this stuff, which is fine. All right, so then we've got Dickerson, and he's turning left here, and as he turns, he comes around the corner, and you can see, again, the Vincent Thomas Bridge in the background. So let's back up here. This one was pretty easy. You can see Earl Street here. In the background was a restaurant called Joe Biff's, which you can read right here, and you can kind of see a little bit of the sign. This building burned down in a fire, I don't know, decades ago, but apparently it had amazing hamburgers, according to the internet. So this is also at the intersection of Earl Street and Terminal Way. So same location. So the bridge, where am I? Okay, so the bridge is here. So that Joe Biff's was right here. It was on this corner, which you can now see is storage for shipping containers. All right, so we got that. Let's move forward. All right, so now we start this scene where we have the chase through the hilly streets. Now, San Pedro, as far as I can tell, does not have streets that are hilly like this. So they actually went a little north to Los Angeles for this area. So let's go ahead and we'll reveal this location. So we've got this blue police car driving down this road, turns right, goes down this steep hill, and comes back up. Okay. So this is, the police car was driving down this Micheltorena Street in Los Angeles, turns right onto Marathon Street right here, and then it goes down this hill and up the other side. So if we back up a little bit, yeah, right here. So if you look at the background, you see this building back here. You got 3 tall windows, short, and then 2 tall windows. There it is right there, still standing today. All right, then you get this point of view shot. This is supposed to be from inside a KITT or the front of KITT. driving down this street. This is right around 3520 Marathon Street. Take a look at this building right here. 4 block windows, some smaller ones, whatever. There it is right there. All right, down Marathon Street. All right, and this one scene right here is exactly how I determined where all of these locations were filmed, because you can see part of the street name here. Turns out that's Tularosa Street, which is in Los Angeles, not San Pedro. But here's that same building we saw whenever that blue police car was flying down the road. And we see KITT coming down here, and then they go through the intersection and up the other side. And here's that same block window building I just mentioned also. So there we go, flies down there and flies up this road. Now, then there's a close-up shot. Then we see KITT cresting this hill, which is the same place. So the blue police car we saw earlier was going up this way. KITT's now coming down this way. All right. And then you see this interior shot. This is that same intersection. That's Tularosa Avenue or Street this way, and Marathon Street this way that they're on. And then KITT comes up, crests the hill, and flies in the air. So this is at the intersection. I know we're all over the place. Of Marathon and Micheltorena Street. So the police car, we were already here earlier. So that blue police car came down here, made a right onto Marathon and drove this way. KITT, with the Lincoln following, went this way, crested this hill, and right here, this is where the jump happened. So this jump is like at 3333 Micheltorena Street. And if you'll notice, this looks like all one big building. I'm pretty sure it's two houses. This house right here, this part is still there today. So if we look at it here is that house. You can see the window here. And if you look closely, you can see it like a little door here, a little square here, and you can see that matches this right here. But this part, this is gone right here. And honestly, even back in 1982, this looks like this was all boarded up. So that was torn down. That house would have been right here. But then you see KITT come through the intersection and loses the hubcap. But this building right here, it almost looks like an apartment building, is right here. So for any of you guys wanting to look for a screen used Knight Rider hubcap, go to 3333 Marathon Street and look in this area. Maybe it's in these bushes or under this Subaru. I don't know. All right, so here's another location that I haven't found. I'm positive it's right in this same location. Honestly, I just ran out of time before the need to record this video to find this specific one. So KITT's coming down a hill, turns left right here. You can almost see a street sign right there. Turns left, and take note of this house right here. The Lincoln follows. All right, and then we see that right there, and that's pretty much all we see. So help us find this specific turn, this location, this intersection. All right, and then we see it's kind of blurry, but this blurry screenshot actually does give away where this next location is. This building right here, this apartment building, you can see the second floor, you can see the clay roof, which we just saw in the turbo boost. But we see KITT here, and then the camera does this funky thing, goes down. But then we see right here Robinson Street. All right, so that is actually, so that turbo boost, or the jump over the crest of the hill that we just showed you right here, this is that scene right there, and then this is Robinson Street right here. So that's just KITT continuing the chase down the hill. Now we come up to this location, the jump over the flatbed. Here is how I found this location. This is really, really cool. I've wanted to find this location for a long time because it's weird. You've got this truck pulling out here, and then KITT jumps, right? And then you can see that there's another road right here, and the Lincoln turns, KITT turns left, and then the Lincoln cuts through to this other road, right? This is the road where he jumped over. This is that other road. So I'm like, well, how do I, like, that's kind of weird, a weird setup. So let's go back here and I'll show you how I found this. It's actually pretty neat. So what I did was I knew it had to have been filmed in the same general location as everything else that the rest of this chase, right? So what I noticed was down here, there's a stop sign. So there's an intersection here. But notice how the continuation of the road is offset a little bit. It's not a straight through. You have to take a little bit of a left and then go to continue. All right. So I thought, well, let's look here. Let's look at the map of this area and see where there's an intersection that's not, straight through. And I instantly saw this right here. See this intersection right here? Look how that's off center a little bit. All right. And then I zoomed back a little bit and I thought, well, look at this. There's a road that turns left, just like we see in the episode. And if the flatbed was right here and KITT jumped, the Lincoln could cut across here, assuming this house wasn't here, and continue with the chase. So I'd like to present to you the location of the jump as soon as I find it, right here. The turbo boost. So this turbo boost took place right here. This house was not here. The flatbed truck came out right here. KITT turbo boost. If you look in the far distance, there's the stop sign. There's the continuation of the road that's off center a little bit. All right. So if we look here, you see how it's hard to tell here, but actually I think there's a better shot. Let me back up a little bit. There's a house here, like a single level house, and it's curved in the front. Do you see that right there? And then here we've got this 2-story, almost looks like a motel or apartment complex, and there's stairs going up to the second floor. Well, look at this. This confirmed it for me. Here's that apartment complex right there. And if we go forward a little bit, here's that rounded building right there, the single floor rounded building. So that confirmed it for me. I'm like, we found it. So if we get on this road here, whoops, I went too far. Let's go back a little bit. So if we look here, and then we see, where is it? Right here. KITT slides around. 3505. Look at this building, this house right here. There it is right there. And then KITT drives down through here. The Lincoln, sorry, let me go back a little bit. The Lincoln cuts through right here where this wall now is. And then we see KITT driving forward around to the corner to the right. Look at these steps right here. And here they are. Here are those same steps right there. All right. So we found it. The jump 705 Tularosa Street in Los Angeles. How cool is that? So one of you guys needs to go here and snap a picture because it is the site of Knight Rider's absolute worst looking turbo boost. They used the flivver car, it landed on its rear wheels. It was pretty terrible. Right there, Knight Rider's worst turbo boost occurred. All right, we're almost done. So the chase continues. We're now back in San Pedro. We can see the Pan Pacific Fisheries factory in the background here. That kind of gave away this whole location. KITT turns left, and we see it's at the corner of Earl and Cannery Street. So we go right here, and this is where KITT turned. He was driving down here. Here is where the factory is. Turned left this way. Okay. And then we see him doing this other left here and go this way. So this is, KITT literally came down here, turned left onto Earl Street, came up here, and then turned left onto Terminal Way right here. So this building is no longer there. I know it looks like the same warehouse we showed you earlier. It's not. It's a different one. In fact, are we at that same intersection? No, we're at a different intersection. No, we're not. Here it is. Here's that building right there. There was another one right here that's no longer there. So KITT, come up here and turn left. See the bridge in the background, which you can see right there. All right, so here's another one. For time reasons I didn't find yet, so I'll let you guys find it. Should be easy. Here again, there's the Vincent Thomas Bridge in the background. There's a divider here with grass and some trees, and we see KITT spin around and go back the other way. Large shipping containers over here. Originally, I thought it was further down on Terminal Way, and he spun around here, but he doesn't, because the bridge is not in the background there. The bridge is actually over here. So we need to find something, a street that runs parallel, like this way. So it might have even been, it's so hard to tell. You can't get over here. I don't know if it was over here or what, but actually it wasn't, because if you look, if we go back here, the one pillar of the bridge is way off here to the left, and this road goes under this flat part of the bridge. So it needs to be over to the right. So see, so it's got to be, so where's the bridge? So the bridge is here. So it's got to be like Ferry Street or something. Let's just take a look real quick. If we can't find it. Let's see, Ferry Street. Oh, you know what? I bet you it was Ferry Street. I wonder if it was right here. It's very possible it was right here. We'll have to do some more digging. It might have been right here, and they've changed the dividers. They're no longer grass. You guys let me know, confirm. Maybe it's at 530 Ferry Street. Came around here and back up this way. Ferry Street and Pilchard Street. Let me know if you guys think that's it. And finally, we have the big climax at Berth 57 and in San Pedro. So we can see here, let's see here where we're at. Yeah, so here are, I think those are the tanks back there, possibly. This is Berth 57 right here, this building. So I think the turbo boost, because if you look here, you see KITT coming right here, and there's water over here. So if you look at that, I'm pretty sure the turbo boost was on this side of the building, which there's no street view for. This is definitely where it took place. Yeah, this is Berth 57. So turbo boost, and you see this building in the background here. So if we let's just drop our little guy here real quick and see. Yeah, see, there's Berth 57 right there. And this building right here is this building right here. So I think the turbo boost happened like right here. Yeah. All right, guys, that is the end. Holy cow, 45 minutes of the final verdict. If you guys are able to find any of our missing filming locations, put them in the comments below. Shoot us an email at knightriderhistorians@gmail.com. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Next up, we've got a plush rye. There's some really good locations there, and looking forward to tackling those with you as well. As always, thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll catch you next time.
Hello friends, it's me, KITT. When I'm not out fighting crime, I like to follow my friends at knightriderhistorians.com. Check it out.